It's DJ Martini Midwest Reviews coming at you with another video from my channel. Today I have the DDJ-800, guys. It is a solid professional use controller, guys. It has a lot of features, love its setup. I think it's great for mobile DJs and professional DJs out there to go ahead and pick one of these up and check them out. So I'm going to give you my thoughts, my reviews, positives, negatives, everything I bring to you guys on my review videos right here today. But first, I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. It's DJ Martini Midwest Reviews. Please also check out DJ Martini Services on Facebook. Check them all out, guys. Please like, subscribe, and share, guys. All I try to do is help out, give you guys a consumer review on these products like this DDJ-800 today. Try to make them simple and easy. Give you all the information I can on them, guys, from the software they're using, you know, positives, negatives, and also who are they made for, that type of thing. I'd like to make them, you know, super easy to relate to, but I do like to chat a little bit as well. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys so much to all my subscribers, and thank you guys for following. So let's get into the controller right now. Go through it just a little bit. Pretty basic controller. It's a pretty good size controller. Let's see. I'll measure in a little bit, but it's a pretty good size controller compared to some other controllers. So I say it's kind of more leaning towards your professional use than your home user or your beginner. Like I said, I shouldn't say home user, more of a beginner, because it definitely has a lot of options going on here. So we're gonna just kind of start at the left here and work our way around. But you can see that it does have your loop control and also has some jog wheel adjustment. Now you have a pretty big jog wheel, which I do like. This is a pretty good sized jog wheel. Definitely can adjust, and you're also gonna have an LED display inside that does show some good information in there, and I'll turn that on in just a little bit. But you do have adjustments for in and out for your loops. You can delete some stuff with your loops, and you also have slip reverse and slip, which is very cool features to have on controller. Your shift is down here. You have your track search through here, and you also have your, you know, hot cue, your FX pads, beat jump, and a sampler here as well. And you can go through your sampler banks as well. Play pause, of course. And you're gonna have 8 pads here, guys, which is really nice. Very touch responsive because, you know, you can't really push them down. They're just soft pads and they kind of have some resistance here, but very nice pads. Decent up fader, guys. It is very long, so you do have a lot of adjustment there, but feels okay. I wouldn't go crazy about it, but definitely okay. So then you also have a mic section here, which is all mic and headphones on the bottom right here. So you have your level, you have your cue and your master. In here, you're going to have some, you know, filter stuff. You have a full trim on your auxiliary channel, which is kind of cool. And then you also have your, you know, you have 2 mics, guys. You have volumes for there and highs and low EQ for your mics right there. And you can also turn them on and off, which is really cool feature. So if you have a microphone that doesn't have an on and off, you can actually just switch them off on your controller, which is kind of a cool feature to have. You have your load buttons here, and you're going to be able to toggle through all your library and everything like that. You also have, you know, trim here, high, medium, low, and, you know, some sampler volume, which is cool because sometimes on, say, like virtual DJ, your sample volumes are kind of loud, so it's nice to be able to adjust them there with some volume. You're also going to have your sound, your FX here. And then you also have your up faders here. Up faders feel pretty good. I do like them. They have a little resistance, a little tough for some DJs that might not like that, but not too bad. And then you have your crossfader here, which is actually feels pretty good. Over here, you're gonna have your master level, a booth level, and then you're gonna have a little display here that's gonna show some of your FX. I do like that it has the FX right here, and they do work with virtual DJ and record box, where you can just kind of click through all these FX here. You can see all those trans, flanger, press. You know, there's a lot of different FX that you can go through there. So then you pick your channels here, so you can get up to, you know, all your 4 decks by just selecting with the toggle here, which is pretty cool. And you can also go to your samples as well, so that's kind of cool. And then you have your level and your depth control for your FX, and then you have, you know, your release. So when you press this, your FX will be engaged, and when you unpress it, you will, you know, release those FX. So really cool to have that button right on there, and it'll flash and do things like that when you're going through there. So the same thing on this control, you do have adjustment, which I always like to have adjustment on here. It is very, very nice. But like I said, it's kind of extra for me because I'm not really used to it. This is a pretty cool controller, guys, but it is cool when you can finally adjust those, but I'm not a big scratcher, so it's not huge to me, but it is nice for those people that would like that. But the jog wheels are very, very nice. I like having a bigger jog wheel. That is very, very cool. Same thing on here. You got your pads and everything, and then you got your tempo fader here too as well. Like I said, it's still, I don't quite 100% like the feel of it, but it is there, but it is long, and I do like the adjustment there. So we're gonna go on the front here, guys. You're gonna have your headphones. You have 1/4 and 3.5. It does say record box on the front there, Pioneer DJ. Very, very like solid controller, guys. It feels very, very, very nice. You do have your USB there, auxiliary. You do have your microphone, and there is some adjustment there as well on the microphone. So this one's just 1/4 jack, but you have XLR 1/4 jack combo there. You do have your channel 1 right here. You do have line and phono inputs here, guys, on these, and a ground. You have your master. You do have XLR and RCAs, and then you do have 1/4 jacks on a booth as well. Here's your power right here, on and off switch right here. And the only other thing I wanted to show you too, but your USB line in and a Kingensen a lock there. You know what I'm saying there, guys. Very, very cool. Very, very, like I said, nice controller, guys. This controller definitely ranges up there, guys. It just depends on where you're looking for it. I want to say I got mine for around $800, but you can, and it was used. So they do range. Sometimes you can find them a little bit cheaper, or maybe they might be a little expensive. I know full retail is around $1,000, which is a little pricey, guys. But it does have a lot of features. But like I said, you can find some other controllers out there, especially ones that I've done some reviews on, like the Slate 4 or even the Hercules 500. Guys, those are pretty good controllers, guys. But I'm gonna go ahead and go ahead and plug this in and show you guys a couple more things. Of course, you have your RGB, everything on here, and like I said, the touchpads are very responsive. So very, very cool there, guys. In here is some important information that you guys have. So you do have your second counter, and it also marks all your hot cues, and then you can see when you're using them all. I also like the time bar there. You can kind of see where your record's at. See, we're at 12 o'clock, you know, so you can see where you're at there. Touch platters are nice, like I said. Very nice there, guys. So you do have some good information there. You also have the waveform in there as well. But yeah, it'll tell you a lot of information there. That way you don't have to kind of look at your laptop. So very, very, very cool there. I do like that. But you do have, like I said, we can kind of, we'll stop it in there, but you do have your reverse here. And like I said, I'm using this with Virtual DJ, but it's made for a record box, guys. But like I said, I've had a little bit of issues with that, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But like I said, but you do have a lot of features. Like I said, you have all your mic controls, you have all your, you know, ups, downs, samplers. So there's a lot of things you can do with this, guys. Let me show you a little bit of the effects here. I just have these little clips here. But then you would just switch to the channel that you're on. Right here, channel 1. And I could use... And we'll start it up. Got a little echo at the end of that. But you can see that it's very, very cool that you can just click, 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 and go through all your FX. Is one of my favorite parts of this controller. I do really enjoy that, and I also do like the control on the LCD on the jog wheel here is very, very cool. I like to see where I'm at. Very, very nice on that. So those are probably some of my favorite features, is the control with the FX and having all the FX there, and very easy to switch channels to go to your second channel here or go to whatever channel you'd like to. Very, very cool there, guys. So all right, guys, that's kind of just a little information, kind of want to show you a little bit, but let's talk about some software, and let's give you positive negatives and wrap this up a little bit, guys. Go to 3 more topics here. First, I want to go with the software that it's working with, okay? The Pioneer DDJ-800 does work with Rekordbox, and it works solid. I will say, out of the box, you will have to do some updates with some audio drivers, and that might take you 15 minutes, and make sure that you also have the newest version of Rekordbox, but everything works solid once you get there. Now, the only hiccups that I had with Rekordbox, and maybe it's just me, maybe it's just my laptop, I have a Windows laptop, it is a newer laptop, but I did have some hiccups with Tidal working with the controller. It would download the songs, but it's probably more of a laptop issue with Rekordbox than the controller, but I did have just slow downloading times for music and things like that. But I did notice it was just slow trying to, by the time I would try to put the song on the controller, it would be like a lot of time, and then it would pop up. Or if I try to make some hot cues, it would take a minute for the hot cues to even pop up, just working with the software and the hardware. So I did have a little bit of issues like that with Rekordbox, but like I said, it could just be a me thing. I didn't have any issues with my music I already had in Rekordbox. I just had issues trying to use the streaming part of Tidal with Rekordbox and the controller. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there just in case. Now, when I used it with Virtual DJ, which is another option, guys, if you have the full version of Virtual DJ and you can use it with any controller, which what I always suggest, if you pick up Virtual DJ, just go ahead and save up and get that version, because it's just awesome. Plug and play, guys. I plugged it in, boom, it said it worked. You have a DDJ-800, and then I was off and running, and everything works the way it is. I didn't see anything really different. So very, very cool with that software. It does not work with Serato DJ Pro at the moment. There might be some mapping out there, but you have to go up to the 1000 or some of the smaller ones like the DDJ-200. So also with Tractor, I don't know about that. There probably is some mapping out there too, but you would have to get some mapping to be able to use those. But it does work with Rekordbox and Virtual DJ solid. I've tested both of those. All right, guys, the next thing I want to get into is positives and negatives, guys. Positives is it is a great professional controller, guys. It has everything you need. I love the way it's set up, guys. Actually, it has really good flow to it with your pads, your mic section, your FX section. FX section is probably the biggest seller for me. Just so easy to use. I like to be able to just click to what I need to do. You have your FX release button, and then boom, you're using the FX through your software and the controller into your music. Very, very cool to use. It's probably one of my favorite controllers, the way the FX is set up. Also the mic section, I love the on and off on the mic, guys. So if you have a microphone that doesn't have, and you're using it with the controller, it doesn't have an on and off switch, you can turn that mic section on and off, and also adjust volumes with the mic. So it's very, very cool there. Very, very cool controller, great options. Just very, very well set up. So I do like the DDJ-800. Also, you have to talk about, if you're going to get this controller, you have to talk about the Jog Wheels. They have a bigger size. They're bigger than the normal smaller controllers out there, and they also have that LCD display in there that shows, picture art or BPM, times. They also have that little dial on there, so you know exactly where you're at in the track, and great for scratching if you want to cue it up at the right point, which it does have your cues as well marked on their waveform. So very cool information within that LCD. So that's a very, very big positive. Negatives, guys, I only have some nitpicky negatives. One was the software and hardware working together for that streaming part. Now, it did work with Rekordbox. with my normal music, but when I was trying to do streaming stuff, it was extremely slow, guys, and that was very, very frustrating. Also, the piano black middle section of this plastic, very, very fingerprinty, which just drives me a little crazy sometimes because I'm always kind of cleaning it, just that kind of guy. And so kind of bothers me a little bit, but if it doesn't bother you, it's not a big deal. But that piano black gets fingerprinted very, very easily, guys. Other than that, the only other thing is the pads. I like that very sensitive touch on the pads, but at the same time I want a physical button to push down a little bit, and these are just solid, man. You push them and they don't move, and so I kind of like the actual feeling of a button, and these just don't give me that satisfying feeling of a push down button. So I just wanted to point that out as well. But those are little nitpicky things. Other than that, I think it's a great control, the way it's set up and everything. Just a little nitpicky things by a DJ here. So last but not least, I want to tell you, who is this for, guys? Who needs to go out and run and grab this? Beginning DJs, professional DJs, and I would definitely say professional DJs are definitely more likely to go pick this up, just because it is a great controller. Mobile DJs, club DJs, it's still portable, and it just has a lot of functionality that we could use, being with the auxiliary out, so you can hook up another laptop or tablet or whatever into a separate channel, guys. But you also have that mic section, so you can have two mics, that kind of thing. Very, very cool FX, great things there. For a beginning DJ, I just think the price point is too much there, because this is a $1,000 controller, guys. So I don't think too many beginning DJs are going to be running out buying $1,000 controllers. If you could save up, and you could, I would say go for it. But it's a little bit intimidating when if you didn't know anything about DJing, to just dive into this. But there's definitely other controllers out there, like the Hercules 500, the Gemini Slate 4, some older controllers out there that are just fantastic beginning controllers. The DDJ-800 or 400, great controllers to start off with. One of my favorite controllers was you can find really cheap is the Wego as well. It just works with so many platforms that those are great, solid beginning controllers. This one might be just a little bit more for the professional use, guys. So compared to if you're starting off, guys, you're just not going to have $1,000 to just throw on a controller, guys, in my opinion, when you're first starting out. So definitely would lean this one to the professional use, guys. I use this a little bit less than I should, guys. I actually tend to actually use the Hercules 500 that I have. It's just a fantastic controller as well, and I really like that, but I do love some of the functionality of this guy. So great controller, guys. I definitely recommend the DDJ-800 for all the DJs out there, guys. This is a solid controller if you're looking for it. A great solid controller, especially for mobile DJing, with its inputs and the way it's set up, guys. Really, really good. All right, guys. Tell me what you guys think, and also if you guys have had any issues with rekordbox DJ and using it for streaming, if you guys see a little bit slower times and using things, because I have things like the Denon DJ Prime 4 and the Go, and using those with online things are actually pretty speedy for me. I've heard some people having issues with those, so when I'm using rekordbox and other platforms and they're a little bit slower, I'm just wondering if other people are having issue with that, or maybe that's just me. So let me know on that, guys. Other than that, guys, this has been the DDJ-800, and it's a fantastic controller. Definitely professional use, excellent setup for mobile DJs, portable and fun to use as well. So thank you guys so much. Been the DDJ-800, guys. Please like, subscribe, and share if you guys are interested in my channel. Also, I will leave links for this controller out there as well. Thank you guys so much, and we will talk to you guys later. It's DJ Martini May West.